Hello, thanks for visiting Great Beginnings. I'm Nancy, and just calling it a day here at the beach. What a beautiful day it was, too. I really enjoy. Um, just as a side note, my Italian ices are awesome. They're great. They're perfect for everything. They're creamy like ice cream, but they're all dairy-free, and they're blended with cane sugar, and so they're real creamy and almost like a sorbet kind of. But anyway, they're perfect for any occasion. Weddings, baby showers, birthday parties, you name it, barbecues, corporate events, just about, every event. And summer is definitely here. So even though I'm tied up on the weekends at the beach because I love being there and because I'm a contract vendor, I am available, as far as if you have an event that takes place and you would like to order a bucket of icy scoops, please keep me in mind for that. All I need is 3 to 4 days advance notice so I can prepare them. But they all come in these cute little polka dot cups with the lids, the dome lids, and 6-ounce servings, 30 servings per bucket. And call me for pricing. And I deliver them in Murrieta, Temecula, and in some parts of northern San Diego County. So, but anyway, today's segment, what I wanted to talk about a little bit was about like once you're ready to start dating again, the type of person that you want to look for. That's what I wanted to, talk about, because certainly, with everything all the wisdom that you have gathered from your past experiences, you've been there, done that, you've seen it all, you've heard it all. You certainly don't want to repeat certain things. So you want to be more discerning about the type of people you meet. And one of the things that I think is very important is to steer clear of immature people that are insecure, because those are the ones that tend to, always bully, and they always try to, in order for them to feel better about themselves, they always have to, kind of work on you a little bit to deplete your confidence and stuff. And you've already been there through that. So, you want to steer clear of people like that. But also selfish people. And I wanted to talk a little bit about people that are selfish. People that are greedy and selfish. I mean, they just never put you first. They always put themselves first. And they always, it's all about them. There's no equal give and take with selfish people. Selfish people are people that are all about what they want and getting their way and winning at all costs. And if they don't win and they don't get their way, well, then they take revenge. These are immature people who, when they don't get their way, they seek revenge. They play dirty, I guess you could say. They're very hostile. And they don't really have a heart of love, their heart's incapable of loving. They don't even love themselves. And so you want to steer clear of people like that. Look for telltale signs of selfishness in others. When you're first on your first couple of dates, find out if they're selfish son of a bitch, because you know that if they are, if they're all about themselves, if they're a cheapskate, if they're really just chintzy, tightwadish, kind of get to the bottom of it. Like, first off, find out where they are, because certainly, if you're a person of faith, and you want to also make sure that you're finding people that are in tune with, on the same page as you are spiritually, that are seeking truth and moving forwards, growing and changing, because, we're all changing, we're all growing. Some people refuse to grow, though. Some people refuse to change. Some people think there's not a thing wrong with them when you can see tons of things wrong with them, and you want to steer clear away from people like that. Because although nobody's perfect, we all have our idiosyncratic tendencies or eccentricities or whatever you want to call them, but certainly people with certain personality disorders, and on top of it all, they're selfish too. First of all, they're an arrogant, pompous ass who can't ever apologize, because once again, talking about people with personality disorders. But on top of that, if they're selfish as hell, oh my God, steer clear. Drop them like a bad habit, because you've been there, done that, and you are worth someone investing in. You're worth someone valuing you and esteeming you highly for the type of woman that you are, because you have taken the time to work on yourself, to be cultivated, to be a bit sophisticated. You're not a snobbish person. You're very generous and down to earth, and you're very giving and very approachable. But for someone who's selfish and greedy and immature and insecure on top of that, oh my God, it's like you would do yourself a tremendous favor. And I don't care how cute somebody is or how much money they have, but if they've got those 4 things going for them, you know, cut it, cut it and run, because you wouldn't want to give anyone the time of day, and certainly don't divulge any of your personal information to someone like that. These are the type of people that, if they like you and they want you to chase them, first of all, that's like a wimpy man, a man who is more feminine than a masculine. And I'm sorry, but if I'm going to date somebody, he certainly has to be more masculine than I am. I'm a pretty balanced person. My masculine and feminine energies within me are probably united in perfect union within myself. So I don't need to succumb to, you know, persons that are less masculine than myself, because then these people tend to be codependent, and you run into a codependent on top of everything. Okay, one thing leads to another. You know, this is a dominoes effect, kind of. Here you've got someone who's insecure, and then they're immature, and then they are selfish and greedy, and a pompous, arrogant asshole who can never say they're sorry, and it's all about them. And if they don't get their way, you know, wah wah, wah wah wah, bitch, I'm the baby, or whatever. You've got a crybaby who is codependent, and that's worse than anything else in the world, because then you get somebody that's codependent, and these are people that are clingy. They've got to know where you are. They've got to count for every moment that you're gone. They don't ever like you to leave your side. I mean, I remember having dinner with someone one night who was so clingy. Oh my God, I couldn't even finish my food. I mean, he was slurping all over my arm. I had one hand to eat with. He wouldn't let go of my arm. Okay, certainly I'm not talking about, you know, clingy in that sense, but codependent people. I shouldn't be laughing. I mean, I would laugh if it wasn't just saying. Codependent people tend to be very overpossessive. And if you don't call them or text them back right away, they are like on your tail, or they're thinking something's wrong, or they're freaking out, or they're wondering what, they're just, you can't relax with a person like that. These people they've got issues, okay? And they've got to account for your every whereabouts. And then they're very distrusting and very suspicious of every move you make. And highly because they are the ones that are not to be trusted. These are people that speak out of both sides of their mouths. And there are always double standards with people like this. They, for one thing, feel that you owe your complete and absolute total allegiance 100% to them alone. Always. 100% of the time. You wait on them hand and foot. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, while you're babysitting their baby mama kids that they had with all the women that they chose before you or instead of you, you know, remember, they put you last. And here they are, thinking you're going to babysit their kids and cook their dinner and bring them their slippers. Meanwhile, they're out fucking someone at the office because they're liars. These are people that cannot be trusted. So you get codependent. Okay, you get a person that's insecure. Number one, there's your problem right there. They've got issues that they've never worked through. Okay, so they're insecure. And on top of that, they're immature. They act like a 2-year-old. I mean, they never call you. They play little games to try to make you jealous because, after all, they're the baby, and they expect you to kiss their ass, and they don't pursue a woman. They don't behave like a man. They're not very masculine. They do not behave like a man. These are men that fall prey to women and allow women to abuse them to the point where they're so totally emasculated that they have lost all sight of who they are as a man. I could never be attracted to someone like that. I'm sorry. I just absolutely could not be attracted to someone that is less masculine than myself. I'm sorry. I couldn't get excited about that, and there's no attraction there. That kills it for me. When a man expects you to chase him, please, please. I tend to be an old-fashioned woman, and I'm old school. And I love when a man calls a woman for a date. A man tells a woman, and is very straightforward, that they like to get to know you better, and they would love to have dinner with you, and they do not expect anything, and they are not pressuring because they are the perfect gentleman. And you're talking about someone who is completely confident in their own skin, someone who has been around the block and understands and is mature in their selection, in their selective process, someone who thinks, someone who considers women beyond the superficial and the obvious, okay? Someone that looks a little bit deeper and that's a bit more profound, that has a tremendous amount of understanding and patience, someone who's willing to wait, someone who can keep their pants up, okay, and doesn't fuck anything that moves, all right? Someone who knows who they are as a person and has self-respect, loads of self-respect and self-love, because that goes both ways. When you value yourself, you value your partner. And I believe that the man's role is to protect and defend the honor of the woman. A gentleman, a true gentleman, always considers the welfare of the woman first, okay? And yes, he pays for everything. That is the role of a man. He pays for everything because the woman is the prize, and that's just how it is. And that doesn't deviate, at least not in my book. I wouldn't give anyone the time of day. I would die being single if it meant that I had to settle for anything less than what I deserve and expect. But that is it for me. So if a man was selfish, greedy, too scared to come forward, too afraid to call, couldn't make up his mind or decide because he doesn't know what he wants, a man who is old enough to know better and still doesn't know what he wants, even though he's known you for years and years and years, that's not a man. That's a totally emasculated man to me in my book that has lost sight of who he is as a person and as a man. And I would never give him the time of day, ever. So, yeah. But anyway, I hope this clears up a little bit about, this is just my perspective on dating. A woman should know her worth, her value. A woman doesn't have to sleep around after having dinner with someone. Are you kidding me? I can buy my own dinner. Thank you. And, that touches on another subject too. When a woman is so free in sleeping around with someone, I want to tell you something about the exchange of energy when you have intimate relations with someone. When someone you don't even know and you're doing that, you're exchanging bodily fluids, and much more important, you are exchanging energies with that person. You're taking on part of the energies of whoever that person has been with. And maybe he was a player, a hoe, who slept around with anything that moved. He stuck his dick into anything that moved and just cared so little about himself that he's just vile. Are you kidding me? And you sleep with the person like that? You're throwing your life away. I would never budge for a person like that. I'm sorry. And I know what I deserve. And I'll hold out till the end. And I tell you what, I'd rather be single because I'm perfectly happy and content with who I am as a person and being alone. I have no fear whatsoever. I love being alone. I can go to dinner by myself and enjoy and have a wonderful evening. And I'm never alone because there are always wonderful people around. And I pick up conversation with people. I have no problem whatsoever. There are lots of lovely people all around. And so life is filled with lovely people. And you learn from people. If you're willing to listen, you learn a lot from people. And sometimes you open a conversation and people have really good advice and good tips and information. So it's very rewarding. So I never have to worry about going anywhere alone. I pick up a plane and fly wherever the hell I want. and I do it all alone. A codependent person is afraid to be alone. Watch it for codependent people, because they will suck you dry. They're clingy. They are the most suspicious people. They always are distrustful. These are the type of people that stalk and spy and check out your phone to see where you've been. They're immature, very immature, and they're loaded with tons of insecurities and problems. Ditch people like that in a nanosecond, because I'm telling you, they're overly possessive and extremely controlling, and it is just a bad situation. Don't even go there. You meet someone like that, run. I'm telling you, all my life I've been pursued by people that were so suspicious, so nosy, followed you, tracked you down, spied on you, sent people, trolls, to see what you're doing. I even had one guy that I just would not date. I absolutely was disgusted in his filthy jokes, and I just never would date a person like that. Absolutely found out where I lived. I was very secretive about where I lived. He found out where I lived and went down. I'm sleeping in bed one night, and here is this shadow sneaking around the windows of my apartment where I lived, looking inside and peeking in the windows. This asshole, I mean, people like that, really, you know. And then here I get dressed up to go to go for dinner with the girlfriend, go out to my car, and there he is at my car waiting for me. Why haven't you called me? Where have you been? How come you're ignoring my... And I was very direct, as I am now. I simply don't want to go out with you. End of story. I don't owe you any explanation. So quit bothering me and be gone. This person had the audacity to literally put his hands on me to restrain me, and started shaking me. Wait a minute, don't you understand? I want to go out with you. This person didn't take no for an answer, just like the rest of them. This is one of those type of people you got to watch for when you're going on a date. Drop them like a bad habit. You don't want to be mixed up with anyone like that. Don't divulge any information, and don't give them the time of day. If you run into a person who's controlling and overpossessive and has anger management issues and doesn't like to be told no and is vengeful and stalks you and does all that kind of bullshit, run. Just get rid of him. Don't let him impact or have any impact on your life at all. Don't give him another thought. So there you go. I hope this helped you a little bit. I put myself out there a lot in these segments. I've had a lot of experience in different situations. And I think it was all probably meant to be, because all things happen for a reason, right? Nothing happens by coincidence or accidents. I think that God puts experiences in our lifetime so that we can eventually be strong enough to share them and help others, in the hopes of helping others anyway. So I'm just putting my best foot forward out there, and I hope this helped you a little bit. If you're one like me who's considering dating soon, I hope that, and I wish you all the best of luck. I really do. I wish you all happiness, peace, joy, and every good thing to look forward to as we begin our lives again. Great beginnings. That's what it's all about. Take care. Over and out. Bye.